Now remember, that sun and moon thing, that was supposed to have happened as Jesus dies. In real life, probably not, but, supposedly. But it puts Revelation into our chronological frame as the rebellion against Rome and all things governmental, called the Christ Revolution, continues on. Then the seventh seal is opened, and that's when predictions actually begin, because they're predictions to their time, but not ours. So here's the big problem. Those predictions didn't come true. They didn't come true. They did, but they didn't, but they did. If you're confused, I'm sorry, but let me clear it up for you.
Well, now basically he's talking out of his ass, trying to inspire the rebellion onward. 7 angels sound trumpets of wrath against Rome. There's hail and fire mountains thrown into the sea, a falling star called wormwood, whatever that's supposed to mean, and a lot of other shit that's probably code for other things as well. I'd try to figure them all out, but I have a life. Then there's this weird part where John of Patmos is told to eat a scroll, so again, God really cares about you having enough fiber in your diet. Then there's 2 witnesses. One is Elijah, the other Moses. Why? Well, why not? They are the ultimate party animals, after all.
Well, Elijah is, anyway. I mean, he calls down fire from the sky. Tell me you can't use those kind of pyrotechnics at a concert.
Then the 7th trumpet. Then there's a woman and a dragon. She's about to have a baby. The dragon's wanting to eat it. Talk about takeout. Makes me wonder if he'd eat the afterbirth too. Sorry. Then she's given wings so she can fly away and escape him, but the dragon spews water from its mouth, and it's clear that at this point John of Patmos has discovered some of the best hash on the planet. But actually the woman is most likely the gathered people in rebellion trying to give birth to revolution, that's my guess, and the dragon's the empire wanting to eat it. Then comes a beast from the sea, and a beast out of the earth, and a lamb, and 144,000 men who've never gotten laid. Well, not with a chick anyway. And more shit goes down, and chaos as a rebellion keeps going, and then 7 more angels, all with bowls filled with plagues. This whole 7 angel thing is getting old, but John of Patmos didn't apparently have an editor. The angels pour their bowls, and the people of the earth are showered with cereal!
Okay, now comes the fun part. Because these plagues only affect certain people, those who are marked. You already know about the mark of the beast. You've heard it all your life practically. The whole 666 thing. Well, those who take the mark are going to follow along with the plagues of the civilization. Those who don't will not. That's the prediction that doesn't quite come true. We'll come back to this in a second, but let me finish the tale.
So now we're in chapter 17, and there's a woman riding on a beast, and I don't mean that in a kinky way. She is the whore of Babylon. Well, okay, maybe I do. And on her forehead is written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes, and the abominations of the earth. I told you we'd be getting to the abominations.
You fucking whore. You fucking whore. That's all you are. Go suck a dick, huh?
Now, Babylon was the first big abomination empire, so this is another empire. People prostituting their souls to be a part of the empire and be paid for it, bowing down for the little tiny bits of metal coins that permit them to be a part of the civilization. Rome was the new Babylon, conquering everything, that new abomination. Then they celebrate the fall of Babylon. Thousands of years later, it happens again, but they win, blah, 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 and the book ends warning everybody who receives this book never to change any word of it, or they'll be snuffed out and not get any heavens for themselves. A great way to end an infallible book, don't you think?
We have some very interesting symbols to decipher now, and the biggest of which I'll go ahead and do first.
This comes to us from the ancient art of Gematria, the father of today's modern geometry. Part of Gematria's practice is the adding up of numerical values of the letters of a word and giving that word or name a numerical value altogether. But that's only part of it. The other part is using numerical values in geometrical figures and equations. The measure of an angle, the ratio. The Jesus fish, in fact, is a geometrical trick involving concentric circles that creates a ratio of 153 to 265 and relates to the Gospel of John where Jesus has his disciples catch exactly 153 fish. Mathematics had a lot to do with the secrets and codes that were written into these texts not to be taken literally, but to be encoded and to have secret meanings found. Again, if Rome knew they were speaking against Rome, they could be killed. So, even if they could find out how to add names in the fashion of Gematria, they'd have to figure out who they're being spoken about. Thus, his number is 666, leads people to wonder, is this against one of the Roman leaders? But not a single Roman leader or person at all was to add up to this number. But it strikes fear into the hearts of many, when in reality, 666 is a number that those deep into the secrets would immediately recognize, and not as a bad thing. Not really.